Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today I'm going to be teaching you guys a guaranteed way to make hundreds of dollars, possibly thousands of dollars every day, and to eventually become successful. Now, that is a guaranteed way to make hundreds of dollars a day, possibly thousands of dollars a day, and to eventually become successful. If you are a regular subscriber to this channel, you know that over the last couple of days, I've been teaching you guys how to raise capital. And capital is the lifeblood for business. And I want everybody, all my subscribers, to be into business, because this idea that only some of us can go into business is not true. Everybody can go into business. Everybody can be a business person. It's just that we cannot all go into the same business, but we can go into different businesses. That's why God has given each and every one of us different talents, different skills. Now, you have to understand that there are principles that if you follow, they're going to develop you. And when you grow, because it's impossible for your income to grow if you yourself don't grow. So when you develop yourself, you're going to grow. It's not automatic, but gradual, and it's going to happen. And I need to warn you, there's nothing like an overnight success. The only success that comes overnight is criminal success. If you have a garden, for instance, and you plant in the garden, the only thing that has the capacity to grow overnight are weeds. So you don't want overnight success, you want over time success. And these principles I'm going to be teaching you, they're going to help you get that success. Now, the very first thing you want to do, you want to wake up early in the morning every day to ideate. So you have to get clarity. That's one of the most important things in the success journey, clarity. So how do you get clarity? As a human being, you got five senses. You got touch, you got smell, you got taste, you got sight, you got hearing, right? Now, there's another sixth sense, which is like probably in the realm of metaphysics, the spiritual. But you see, with your senses, they're helping you operate in this physical, natural world. And your senses distract your focus. Your senses distract your focus. So if you want to ideate and if you want clarity, because without clarity, you're not going to have success. So if you want clarity, you got to wake up very early in the morning. I recommend 5 a.m. when the whole world is still asleep. So there are very, very little sensory distractions. So there's very little noise that's going to distract you. There's very little visual that's going to distract you. There's very little, like smells in the air that are going to distract you. There's very little for you to touch. People are not moving around. That's going to distract you. So you have the opportunity to focus on your inner man, your subconscious man, and then you begin to ideate. What does it mean to ideate? Ideate means to meditate, to come up with ideas. And if you do that in the morning when everybody is asleep, I guarantee you, God is going to give you ideas. And then out of every 5 ideas, at least one of them will be workable, will be money making for you. So you have to understand that. So you ideate. But then when you ideate in the morning, you need to have pen and paper handy. You need to have pen and paper handy. Don't say, oh, I'm going to put it into memory. Listen, a short pencil is longer than a long memory. Now, the next thing that you want to do after you've ideated, you have to understand the word executive. Study that word, executive. A lot of people think about chief executive officer of a company, this and that, this and that. Look, the word executive is a very heavy word. It means to execute. So it means that when God has given you ideas, you got to execute those ideas. Those ideas are not just going to be money making on their own automatically. You have to execute those ideas. If you don't execute those ideas, you're not going to make money. So you need to understand and study the word executive. Executive means that you have the discipline to implement, to execute your dreams, your ideas. It means that you have the discipline. So you have to acquire the ability to be an executive, to execute. And to do that, you need to have goals. You need to have targets. So look what I said, you need to have goals. So what's that? You need to have like an endpoint, which is your goal. And then you need to have targets. That means that things that you must do within a specified period of time to get to that goal. Now, if you don't know how to do this, it's easy. What you need to do is this: study executives and you will become an executive. In fact, if that is even wrong. If you study executives, you'll become a better executive. If you study the wealthy, you'll become wealthier. If you study the influential, you become more influential. If you study the powerful, you become more powerful. Whatever you study, you become better at. So that's why you need to study. Read biographies of executives, people who have been able to translate ideas into reality. Now, ideas, reality, the middle is execution. So you read the biography of people who have been able to have good execution. And there are a number of them. And nowadays, you don't even have to go to a library in America, in England. You can use your phone, whether it's an iPhone or whether it's an Android or a Google phone, to get ebooks. Read about them, read how they did it, and then you learn from them, and then you implement them in your own life. Now, another thing you got to do if you want to be successful and if you want to make hundreds of dollars every day is you need to understand that there is the need to budget your time and money. Now, don't just budget your money. You want to budget your time and your money. I didn't say budget your money. Most people, when they want to budget, they're only budgeting their money. You need to budget your time and your money, because what does budgeting do for you? Budgeting helps you realize with clarity that your wants are unlimited. Your wants are unlimited. If I give you £10,000 now, and then you're walking down the streets of London, or I give you $10,000 and you're walking down the streets of New York, as you're walking, maybe you're walking from the beginning of Fifth Avenue in New York to the end, you're going to see things that you want to buy. And those things that you're going to want to buy are going to be more than the $10,000 that I've given you. So you see, your money is limited, but your wants are unlimited. And how are you going to know that? You're not going to know that unless you budget. So when you budget your time, you begin to see how valuable time is. So when somebody comes to meet you and say, they want to talk to you about something that is unimportant, like maybe a little gossip or something that's happening on Twitter, oh, so and so, they are fighting each other and all that. Because you have budgeted and you know the value of time, you're going to say, no, I don't have time for that. So already beforehand, you are attaching your time to productive things. And then already beforehand, you are attaching your money to productive things. So you want to budget. Because budgeting is what is going to kickstart that process of prosperity. If you don't budget, it's impossible to be prosperous. If you don't budget, it's impossible to be prosperous. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do after doing that is that you want to cooperate. You want to learn how to cooperate. And that's very important. You want to learn how to cooperate. Now, the reason why is this: cooperation is going to bring you more benefits than confrontation. The opposite of cooperation is confrontation, and cooperation is going to bring you more benefits than confrontation. And it's so important, it's very, very important. You want to learn how to cooperate with people, even your enemies. Even if someone is your enemy, cooperate with them. Here's the thing: when you cooperate with people, everybody wins. When you confront people, only one person wins, and it's impossible, I wanted to show you, I had something here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, I couldn't find it. It was a mafia model, and this thing actually comes from the mafia. The mafia, they actually do not just fight at once. They always try to, first of all, cooperate with you to see how they can find common ground, because in the mafia they know that military technique from Niccolo Machiavelli, that anybody who cooperates wins with the cooperation. So if I cooperate with you, you win, I win. It's a win-win situation. But if I confront you, it's going to lead to aggression, war, and only one person can win a war. And at the beginning of the war, we can't say with clarity who's going to win. So it's better to cooperate with me and I cooperate with you than for us to confront each other. Even if we are enemies, we can agree to disagree on the things that we're enemies about, but for the purpose of business, the purpose of success, we can cooperate together. Now, look at what I've taught you guys. Ideate to get clarity, right? Number one. And then the next one is this: study the word executives and study executives. The third one is this: budgeting. And then the fourth one, and which is very, very important, is that cooperate instead of confronting. Now, if you put all of this together and you make it a habit, make it a lifestyle, make it a practice, you're going to be in a position to make hundreds of dollars, literally thousands of dollars in a day. But here's the catch. The thing is that you have to make it a habit so that it's inbuilt in you, so that you begin to do these things without even thinking about them. Now, my name is Renan Mokri. If you watch this and you have questions arising from this, put your questions in the comment section of this video. My staff are going to bring those questions to me. I'm going to do my best to respond to each and every category. But you got to remember, I do not have a WhatsApp forum, a Telegram channel, or a Gmail email address. Scammers have seen that my videos tend to get viral, and so they created a number of fake YouTube profiles, and they're going to approach you in the comment section of my video with helplines, guidelines, or they'll tell you to text somebody, or they'll tell you to email somebody. And when you do, they're going to ask you for money, and when you pay that money, that's the last you're going to hear from them. And then you're going to come on my Facebook, or my Twitter, or my Instagram, or my YouTube and say, Pastor Reno, you duped me. No, I've alerted you. You allowed yourself to be duped. Now this is the Apostle of Prosperity saying, God bless you.
But Reno travels all around the world. I hope you get inspired about what you see. Apostle of greatness, Reno is a master. Only one man against the whole world in large. Fighting with the monsters, poverty I can't stand. That's why Reno is